I've got in this world is my balls and my word. That's my Tony Montana impression. Oh man, Scarface, what a great movie. Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Mindful Balance Pursuit, the podcast that is all about holistic well-being, your spiritual health, your mental health, your physical health, your cocaine habits. Just kidding. But today we're talking about Scarface and some cool lessons I've learned from watching that movie. I just love that movie. I love Tony Montana. I was watching that movie and I was like, why do I love this movie so much? I watch it every other year. And I'm like, why do I love this movie so much? And it's the character. It's Tony Montana, and it's his character that I love. And I wrote down some like key takeaways from this movie that are actually pretty good lessons, pretty good positive lessons, which sounds weird because it's a movie about literally murder and cocaine and all that fun stuff. But anyways, some positive lessons from this movie, though, I wanted to share with you guys. And hear me out. I think you guys will agree if you watch the movie and if you like the movie. I wrote them down. I just wanted to go over them with you. And like, if you watch the movie, if you remember recently, or if you watched it recently, like Tony Montana's character from beginning to end, he's always Tony Montana. He doesn't change for anybody. And it doesn't matter if you have a gun to his face or how much pressure you're putting on this guy, he just doesn't change for anybody. And that's what I like about him, and I almost look up to the character for that reason, because so many people change based off their circumstances or who else is in the room, or you're trying to impress somebody. And Tony Montana, he just doesn't give a shit. He doesn't change for nobody, and it's just epic. And so I wanted to go over a couple things I took away from this movie after watching it again recently. And one is his entrepreneurial spirit. Like, he really is going after working for himself, being his own boss. Mind you, it's selling coke, it's not running a business, but you get the point. Like, we're focusing on the positive here. So, but that entrepreneurial spirit, it really, he really does showcase that. And what the biggest thing for him is his desire to create opportunities for himself. He sees a window, he sees an opportunity, and he takes it.
Say as far as Panama. We take it from there.
Panama, it's risky. Cost me more. Panama I can sell for 13.5 a key.
13.5? What are you, nuts? 13.5? We still gotta take that shit to Florida, man. Do you know what that's like these days? You got the fucking Navy all over the place. You got frogmen. You got EC2s with the satellite tracking shit in them. You got the fucking Bell 209 assault choppers up the ass, man. You know, we're losing 1 out of every 9 loads. That's no duck walk anymore. Let me tell you. Forget about 13.5.
What do you suggest that is reasonable?
That go get it spirit that he has, you can't deny it. It's definitely strong in his character, and it really is motivating to watch. Again, you have to put it into context, right? Like, he's doing it with unethical ways, like killing people to get ahead, backstabbing. Though he's been pretty loyal, he throughout the whole movie, to himself and loyal to the people above him, until they screw him, right? And then he's not so loyal anymore. So, but so one is that go get it, self-employed spirit that he has, undeniable. I think if you watch it, you see it, and it really is motivating for people who are running their own business and struggling to just like go get it. Just, it's there. If you want it, grab it. So it's really inspiring in that sense. Two is his determination and ambitions. I'm just going to write it down because I changed number 1 and number 3 around, but Number one would be entrepreneurial spirit for sure. Like, he's a go-getter. You can't deny that. Number two is his determination and his spirit. Like, when he started out, he was working really low-end jobs, right? He's working these low-end jobs and then working his way up throughout the movie. You see him work his way up to power, right? And the whole movie is this power struggle, and he's just rising above his circumstances, and it's really a testament of the power and having clear goals and just relentless work ethic. And he clearly, his goals might not be voiced and super clear at the beginning, but you could tell he has a goal to answer to nobody, to have the power to be his own boss, and you could tell that that is his goal, and he reaches his goal. So having clear goals and just a relentless work ethic towards those goals in life is something you can take away from this character, and really look up to the character in that sense. And I do. And I'm trying to break down why I love the character so much, and that's one of it. One of the things, he knows what he wants and he goes and gets it. Okay, and then number three, his just adaptability as he's climbing the ranks in this power struggle that he's got, and he's gaining more and more power, and he has to answer to less and less people. He really is adapting to his environment, and at the end, his downfall. I won't spoil it if you haven't seen it, but we all know how it goes for him at the end. But he's adapting well throughout the whole movie until the end, where the greed and the money and everything, and maybe his ego, it all just comes piling up on him, and that's ultimately, I think, his downfall. um that, and also the substance that he's dealing with too, right? I mean, you don't the what do they say in the movie, the number two rule is don't get high on your own supply. So
Don't underestimate
The other guy's greed.
Lesson number 2, don't get high on your own supply.
That's right. Lesson number 2, don't get high on your own supply.
but it's like, one thing you can take away from this, his adaptability as he's climbing the ranks, and his ability to think on his feet has gotten him through some really close calls, and you can see it throughout the whole movie. And so I would encourage watchers, like people watching the movie, I would encourage you guys to try to have that mindset. Try to have that mindset of thinking on your feet. You have a challenge. There's a way to overcome this challenge. Tony's way of overcoming the challenge is usually just steamrolling right through it, facing it head on, saying "fuck you" to the guy or the whatever this thing is, right?
You know what? You should listen to your wife, man. She's right. You are an asshole, man.
Come here, give me a kiss. Come here. Come here. Hey. Hey. Hey, fuck you, man!
And like, it's kind of bold and it's kind of aggressive, but sometimes that's all you have to do, is have a challenge and say F you to the challenge and just deal with it. And it's really it's a power move. He's one tough son of a bee, and instead of sugarcoating things or tippy-toeing around something, sometimes it's best to just steamroll right through the problem. And you have to think on your feet and decide if that's the right thing to do. So his resourcefulness and adaptability, I would say, is number 3. 4, this is my favorite one. This should have probably been number 1. But 4 is his recognition of his own self-worth. And in that opening scene, it's early in the movie when he's doing the dishwashing, and then after that he goes and sees the guys, and they're like, "Oh, I got a proposition for you, $500 each or whatever it is." And he's like, "What do I look like, a dishwasher or something?" Like,
500. Who do you think we are, baggage handlers? The going rate on a boat is 1,009. You know that.
First, you gotta work your way up to 500, querido.
Okay, what I did for you guys in Freedom Town, what was that? That real banger hit was a game of dominoes? Or
Man,
what?
that was something else, man.
Shut up, Mike. Take it easy.
What's with this dishwasher, Chico? Don't you think we could have got some other space cadet to hit Rebecca cheaper, to $50?
Then why didn't you, man? Don't be calling me no fucking dishwasher. I'll kick your fucking monkey ass all over the
And it's just so funny because he is working this really low end job and he is kind of a bum at that point, but he's acting like he's a big shot already. And it's kind of like that fake it till you make it mentality, but he's not faking it. Like he believes it. You know, he says in the movie he wants the world and he's going to get it eventually. And just that crazy mindset, that know your own worth mindset. Something I would take away from that is just having awareness of your own personal value. And a lot of guys don't have that. A lot of girls don't have that. You know, you go out with losers and you're dating losers and you're hanging out with losers and you're too scared to ask your boss for a raise, and even though you're the hardest worker there. And you know, it's just having the ability to tell people, you know, what you're worth. And that goes in both your personal life and your professional life. Don't be afraid to tell people what you're worth. And just having that confidence to pursue your goals, right, with total conviction. And that is demonstrated pretty heavily through Tony Montana's character. And 5, like, not really an issue for me personally or anything like that, but the family loyalty and protection I really value. Like, I have 2 sisters, and I would pretty much fight anyone for either one of them. And not that I've ever had to or anything like that, but this mentality, like, to protect your own and know where your loyalties lie. You know, your loyalties usually lie with your family more than your friends. And sometimes you have friends that are like family, and that's where your loyalties have to lie. But ultimately, I think your loyalty, 100% of your loyalty has to lie within yourself, to yourself. You cannot, excuse me, you cannot screw yourself over. You have to recognize when you're doing yourself an injustice. And you have to take that same loyalty and protection you would have towards your brothers and sisters, or your mom and your dad, and put it towards yourself. You have to put an equal amount of love and importance on yourself that you would put on your family. And a lot of people forget to do that sometimes. So yeah, just I rearranged my order here as we were talking. But number 1, that entrepreneurial spirit that Tony exhibits is definitely number 1, because as somebody who owns his own business, it's just like, I think I'm probably going to rewatch this movie before our season fires up. And I'm just going to walk around like Tony Montana and just demand everything. No, I'm just kidding. Like, that wouldn't work, but having the mindset that you deserve it and that you can have it is definitely something you have to have when you own your own business, for sure. Determination and ambition. Yeah, I mean, that's just his rise, right? That's throughout the whole movie, determination and ambition. That's just his rise to power until the end. Resourcefulness and adaptability, using the friends he has when he's starting out, the power that he has, and sometimes over-exaggerating the power that he has at the beginning, and then using that to his advantage. Recognition of self-worth is hilarious in this movie. He will tell anyone off. Like, there's a scene where his buddy's literally getting hacked up with a chainsaw, and he has a gun to his face, and he tells the guy to go F himself. It's like, it's the funniest thing ever, and you can't help but laugh because it's so over exaggerated, you know. It's just hilarious. And then the family loyalty and the protection, like when Buddy says, "Oh, your girlfriend, your sister's really pretty," and he snaps on him like that.
She's good. How come you... Hey! Stay away from her. You hear? She not for you. Okay.
How do you not like this character? You know? Yeah, he's, you know, shooting people and dealing drugs, but even at the end, when he's going down at the end and he doesn't want to go down, without spoiling too much if you haven't seen it, his character is probably one of my favorite characters of all time. Well, yeah, I was gonna say Rocky too. Like Rocky is a very motivation. It's a motivating movie. And sometimes the stories can be a little bit corny, and I'm not really looking at the story necessarily as like if I could relate to the character in a movie, I'm really into it a lot of times. So, but anyways, guys, that's uh that's what I just wanted to do. I just wanted to give you those takeaways. If you haven't watched the movie, I encourage you to watch it, and don't focus on the negative, like because there's a lot of negative. It's probably like a 5-to-1 ratio on things you probably shouldn't do, but definitely look at the positive and look at the lessons you could learn from the character. I think it's pretty inspiring. Just his grit that he portrays, and his toughness. And sometimes, when we're not feeling too motivated, it's a pretty great movie to watch on a Sunday just to get ready for the week. My name's Tom. This is Mindful Balance Pursuit. Um, this podcast is all about mindset, and a lot about mindset and spiritual health, physical health, financial health, and mental health. And the mindset we're talking about today, you might argue, is not the most mentally healthy thing. But again, we're looking at the character, we're looking at the character's character traits, not what the character is doing. So keep that in mind. This is Mindful Balance Pursuit. My name is Tom. Thank you for watching another episode, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.